So I want to talk about today about the difference between self-defense, street fighting, and competitions. Now, I've written about this previously. I've never really put it onto video, so I'm going to be using some of my notes here that I've written down, and I have it in different places, blog, and even in our book that we use for class here at the Dragon Institute. But Wing Chun is specifically for self-defense, at least how I teach it and how I was taught it. So it is not for street fighting and it is not for competitions. So then the question is, what is the difference between these three things? Knowing the difference, and this is an important thing here, why is it important to know the difference, is because when you understand the differences, there's implications to how you train and and what are you training for. So clearly, you want to have the integrity of the event in mind. And for us, that is self-defense. For others, it is other things. So here we go. First, what is a combat sport? A combat sport or a sports fight is a competition between two contestants. The fighters agree to a certain set of rules which ensure relative safety. Determining the winner of the match depends on these specific rules. For instance, in many combat sports, a contestant wins by scoring more points than the opponent or by disabling them. All right, so that's a combat sport. Street fighting. Street fighting is generally hand-to-hand fighting in a public place between two people or even groups of people. A street fight has no rules, no techniques are off limits, unlike combat sports, right? Street fights may very well involve weapons or multiple opponents too. The venue is usually a public place and the fight often results in serious injury, even death. A street fight is consensual, right? It is between two parties. They decide to do it. Therefore, it is an ego-based match. All right? It is, you've decided. A typical situation here might involve two men arguing in a bar. Then one suggests stepping outside in order to fight. Therefore, it's often possible to avoid a street fight altogether. And then we have the last one, and this is self-defense. In self-defense, there is no agreed upon contest or rule set. The person defending themselves has no ego involved. They are defending themselves against an immediate threat of violence. Their goal is escaping the situation and assuring their own safety. They'll use force if necessary. Their success depends on a large number of parameters related to the severity of the threat on their mental or physical preparedness. So, those are the three simple differences between competitions, combat sports, street fighting, and self-defense. When we know these differences and we keep them in our minds, we can learn to train specifically for what we're training for, okay? And we can get good at our specific goals so that we can be very concentrated in our efforts towards getting good at those specific goals, whatever they may be for you. For, like I said, for me and for my students, it is absolutely self-defense training. Would some of this carry over to other things? Yeah, of course. You see Wing Chun being used in MMA, but honestly, it's not really what it's for, and there is a difference. If you have any other questions as to what these implications may mean for your training, feel free to ask below, and I'll try to help you. I've been doing this for 26 years now, and your questions, I've probably thought a good deal about whatever questions you might have, so I can try to help you based on all the damn things I've thought about over the years. So, all right, guys, thank you much, and till next time, I'm Adam Willis. Thank you.